we continue our journey into the heart of India and into our own hearts and minds, we welcome Raymond Bickson to the stage. He currently serves as Managing Director and CEO of the largest hotel chain in India, the Taj Hotels Resorts and Palaces. His experience in the hospitality industry spans 30 years and 4 continents. Raymond is a member of the WTTC, the International Business Leaders Forum, and the advisory boards of the leading hotels of the world. In 2007, he received the prestigious Corporate Hotelier of the World Award from Hotels Magazine. Oh, he says he's the only Hawaiian on the program and perhaps in Delhi. He says he hasn't seen another one. But most importantly, he's our host for dinner this evening. Please welcome Raymond Bickson.
Thank you. Good morning. So, I think the rare thing about this opportunity is a bit different than I normally am because this is not a hotel investment conference where I'm looking for developers and investors. And I think that what's wonderful about this is that I get to speak to a fairly enlightened group of an audience today. And having said that, let me give you clarity because, as you know, I'm American, I'm born in Hawaii. So when I normally go home for the holidays and we start talking about, Indian or whatever, I say, hey, stop. Remember, Indian, you mean dot or feather. I thought this is a crowd that would understand that. But what I meant to say when I started off this journey is that I think that from the speakers that you hear about India, I am fortunate in that being the custodian or the 4th CEO of this company, I have the opportunity to see it from an outside in and today an inside out. And having said that, you need to understand that our company is the oldest company in the Tata Group. The Tata Group is a 150-year-old business. And what I mean by enlightened is that over a century ago, the founders of the Tata Group, Jemsetji Tata, brought his family together at the turn of the century and said, we have benefited more than what we'll ever require in our lifetime. So at the turn of the century, they created the Tata Trust, the Tata Foundation. And today, from the Tata Group, which is India's largest company, it's a 150-year-old brand. The Tata Group owns Jaguar, Land Rover, etc. But the Taj remains a very, very important part of it, as we are the oldest company in the Tata Group. We're 112 years young and going towards the second 100 years. And I'm the 4th CEO to have the privilege of running this company. So when that was started, you have to understand that 66% of a $110 billion company essentially goes to charity. And with that, many of today's largest institutions were established from this trust that this does. And although we're a public company and probably the first billion-dollar revenue company in 2007, more or less, where it entails hospitality, travel, restaurants, aviation, airline catering, and that, we come from a space where essentially 38% of our company stock is owned by the Tata Group. So essentially 38% of our profit already goes to charity in that respect. So when I mean enlightened, this comes from a different area when we talk about why we are in business. So with that, you understand that I'm a hotelier, so I'm addressing a different crowd than what I normally speak to. And being a hotelier, I come from 25 years of working for one boss. So essentially, between Bob Burns, Adrian Zeka, George Raphael for 25 years, 10 years with Regent International Hotels in Hong Kong, which many of you know, and I mean, sorry, Andrew, old Regent, not new Regent. And then for 15 years with the Raphael Group Hoteliers from Monte Carlo. And I built a hotel in New York called the Mark Hotel for 16 years. This was before coming here. So that's where I come into this picture, and because the gist of this conversation is your journey to this, and how we have come now to a wellness conference like this. So here begins Jiva journey, which I wanted to talk about. So when I came to India in January 2003 as the Chief Operating Officer for Taj Hotels, Resorts, and Palaces, you know, I realized that this was a very unique opportunity because when we say palaces, these are, we have within our portfolio, small and large, 14 palaces of the royal families. And then looking at that, you have to realize that in that sense, that probably for the last 150 to 200 years, these royal families have understood luxury and the brands and probably were the best customers of Cartier and Harry Winston and Rolls-Royce for those last 100 years. So when we talk about the carriage trade, we really mean carriage trade that we've been dealing with. Vikram Oberoi is here right after me. I'm lucky Vikram goes before the Dalai Lama and not me. So, you know, I realized in looking at the land of the authentic Ayurveda and mystic yoga, there existed, I think we had to look at a huge potential in the wellness space. And the Taj really had health clubs and operated by 6 hotels, outsourced companies with no standardized offering. And in those years in India, the concept of spas was at a really nascent stage. And there were no major Indian operators, only a few Asian spas, Banyan Tree, Mandara, mainly the largest ones, making an initial foray into our market. With a mixed bag of fragmented experiences in the sense shiatsu, Swedish massage, Thai massage, and Hawaiian lomi lomi, which you all know. And practically no offering or authentic, holistic wellness. And so we at the Taj realized that there was this unexplored potential for an indigenous and a holistic wellness concept based on these ancient, Indian wellness lifestyles that integrated the philosophy of centuries of age-old Ayurveda, meditation and yoga, and thus began, our Jiva journey with an in-depth studies of Indian scriptures, rituals, traditional Indian healing, wisdom, Ayurveda, pharmacopoeia, text on yoga, visits to ashrams, and the spiritual healing centers that our represents. And because of our close proximity to India's royalty, it enabled us to integrate the wellness aspect of these rituals of the Maharajas and the Maharanis of India to recreate those moments of really authentic, genuine, royal spa experiences. So what did we do? Because we looked at it and we said, well, where are the best spas in the world today? So it's, Bali and Thailand. So what do you do when you go to Bali and Thailand and you check in? Meditation, yoga, aromatherapy, Ayurveda. I'm going to ask 10 people in New York City spell Ayurveda, and much less say, what is Ayurveda? I'm going to have an oil and a third eye. I'm going to be like that yoga sitting on the rock. This portal will open. I have all the answers to life. So when you looked at that and you said, okay, where does it come from? India. Why isn't there an Indian brand that takes care of this? And so we want to reinvent tradition. So I met Samir and Beena Patel visiting Ganesh Puri ashram, and I spent an intensive with Guru Mai. And had this idea, and we did this whole search, and we went with Anna Bergstrom. All of you know Anna. I just say Anna, it's like Madonna, you all know who Anna is. And I said, the first 6 months, you just go around India, and you basically look and see what of these holistic things have been done. And then Jiva was born 6 years ago. This indigenous brand, spa brand of Taj, is based on Indian wellness. Healing ethos, the brand that reflects the essence of ancient Indian wisdom and culture. And Aditi Devo Bhava, which means in India, the guest is God. In Hawaii, we call that Aloha Spirit, but here, the guest is God. And so the Taj, basically from that perspective, and the Jiva Spa was born 6 years ago, and did not stop at this. And we proceeded to explore the rich traditional therapies that were practiced in every Indian household. And we wanted to weave it into its contemporary settings of the Jiva Spa. And many of you have heard of champi, the traditional Indian head massage. I understand that that English word shampoo is actually derived from this word. and the local ethos of various cities of India that houses a Taj Hotel is married essentially to our Jiva philosophy, to bring alive Jiva signature experiences, be it the Abhisheka, which is a purifying ritual at Nadesar Palace in Varanasi, or the Mangal Snan, which means bath. It's an auspicious bathing ritual where live musicians play music behind a Jalia screen that you can have at the Usha Kiran Palace in Gwalior. Or the floating spa experience. You know, we have the Royal Gangar boat on Lake Pichola in the Lake Palace in Udaipur, which is in the movie Octopussy. So we have a royal spa barge that we had built in Kerala in the Lake Palace in Udaipur. So those essential oils and herbs are prepared with a deep-rooted understanding of the human anatomy and its therapeutic benefits. And last but not least, our people, trained in holistic healing from the far-flung regions of the northeastern state of India. If you saw the map from one of the students today, you know, the northeast is cut off. You know, Bangladesh is there along the border. So, and the people there look like they're Thai. So, you know, you think, oh, these are very Asian people, but they're actually Indian. And when they talk of coming to other parts of India, they say from the northeast, we're going to India. So we reach out to the youth and help them build sustainable livelihoods. We have 37 centers of excellence around India. We train 9,000 people, and we put in, say, 97% of them sustainable livelihoods. So the Jiva journey continues stronger than before. Our footprint is growing. We forge ahead to redefine wellness, create these spa sanctuaries. For me, I created from a Western perspective a luxury ashram that offers holistic new wellness destinations, and that is where we come with our brand and our journey to your Congress, so that you have a better understanding of what this authentic brand was all about and how we came to it, and that's where we're at today. So thank you very much for giving us that opportunity. And just a word for tonight. You know, we're doing a Bollywood evening, and I want to just give you the whole day to think about it. So you know, you see all the Bollywood movies, and Manny Berger came to us a few years ago. We have marketing alliances in places that we're not. So I said, Manny, why would you want Taj Hotels to be, you know, doing this with you? He says, there's so many Bollywood movies made in Switzerland that in the summertime, I have Indian chefs and Indian menus to cater to some of these guests. So one of the first things I learned, so you practice for tonight, is, you know, the Bollywood movies, they dance and everything, right? So one, you change the light bulb, and then don't forget to wash the windows, right? And the last, you clean the car. So with that, I leave you. Remember for tonight, change the light bulb, clean the windows, and wash the car.